were a kid and you dreamed of being the absolute best at something, whether you were going to be a doctor, a rock star, or a pro athlete, you had this incredible drive inside of you. I am going to be something amazing. Then years later, you realize that dreams don't just happen on their own. You have to show up every single day, not just when you feel like it. And for myself, I needed a good coach, a mentor. We all need good teammates and partners who believe in us when we don't believe in ourselves. It doesn't matter if you want to win a gold medal or become a better version of yourself, personally or professionally. It takes a real first step. So whatever your dreams or goals, you have to surround yourself with like-minded people who will inspire you, motivate you, and keep you accountable.
And we are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Live with Jamie Salé, Transformation Live with Jamie Salé. My name is Peter Clark. Jamie Salé, how are you today?
Wonderful. How are you in this hot weather?
Oh, don't be talking about it. No air conditioning over here with this hair. Come on. This is too much. It's too much. It's too much. Listen, we have a great show today. I'm so excited that you reached out to this fun young man, and I just love what they do, and everyone will resonate with them or know the name and all that kind of stuff. Let me tell you a very quick story I never told you before. I used to be, believe it or not, with this hair, I used to be in a band. Okay, so I was in Toronto, and I moved to Toronto from Eastern Canada, and it was 1991 when we moved there. Okay, we played on Much Music, and then we thought we were going to be rock stars, right? And then all of a sudden, there was this hype about this band, and I was with a cassette of all things. I was like, you got a cassette? I mean, come on. They have one song, a cassette, like what's going on? And so it was kind of that. And then, and the newspapers in Toronto used to have the Sunshine Girl, believe it or not, on page 2. Yep. So anyway, and so on the front page, it was like bare naked ladies on page 2. And I was like, what is going on? And I flipped it over, and here they were, and of course the song $1 Million, all that stuff, and I was like, okay,
good stuff. Yeah,
that's who they are. Okay, that's who they are. So anyway, that's the story. So introduce this unbelievable guest we got today. I'm so excited. Take it away.
Okay, here we go. Well, I am beyond pumped to introduce my next guest, who made my Olympic experience in Salt Lake City just a little more exciting and special. This Canadian singer-songwriter is part of one of the most popular bands in the world, most definitely a personal favorite, and they have sold over 15 million albums and written multiple top 20 hits. The multi-platinum band has been inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. Woo! They have composed the theme song for The Big Bang Theory, amazing, and they even have a Ben & Jerry's ice cream named after one of their big hits. If I had $1 million, I can't sing, but I will let Ed take over. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Robertson of the Bare Naked Ladies. Ed, how are you?
What an intro, Jamie. I'm so good. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know what? My intro could have been so much longer. Your accomplishments and accolades go on and on and on and on, but I'm trying to keep it tight.
It's true. We wouldn't have time to chat if you listed them all.
Right? Yes. So I giggled a little bit, Ed, because when I was doing some research about, the band's history and everything, I laughed because so many people call you guys the Bare Naked Ladies. And this one lady that was interviewing you said it live, and you're like, oh, it's okay. You're not the first one to do that. I was giggling so hard when you say it fast, right? Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah. I don't know if people are nervous, but it's so common that we actually ended up like calling one of our collections of songs Bare Naked Ladies, because we just hear it all the time. Yeah.
Oh my God. Too funny.
So that was a hilarious intro that I made your Olympic experience in Salt Lake a little more exciting.
Ed,
could your experience have been more weird and exciting?
Well, it was weird.
First of all,
it was different.
The entire world fell in love with you guys, not just the country. The entire world fell in love with you guys. We're outraged and then excited. And then you guys were so gracious as to join us on stage for our Metals Plaza performance.
We were gracious. Are you kidding me? We were nervous, we were excited, and we were incredibly honored. That was the most, probably that and being on Jay Leno were their two most exciting moments of our Olympic experience. Obviously, our skate was pretty awesome too, but just post skate, I mean,
One might
getting
say
told
near
that
flawless.
we're going live with the Bare Naked Ladies on stage, and then you gave me the pick, and you're like, just go for it. I'm going, I don't know how to play guitar, and Dave had the tambourine, and he's banging it on his butt, and oh my gosh, we had
He was
so much
rocking
fun,
it.
guys. But seriously,
And
Ed,
people
we're
didn't
tied to
even
you
know.
forever.
People didn't know at that point of the show that beneath my rock and roll clothing, I was wearing a speed skater's uniform as well. So, and that got me in Sports Illustrated, which was pretty awesome.
That was so good. You guys are great entertainers. I just absolutely love it. And I'm grateful for that time because honestly, every interview I do, you guys are brought up.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, just that partnership, the Bare Naked Ladies, that was such a highlight of my Olympics watching it. So thanks for that.
Oh,
So
nice.
special. Yeah, really special. All right, let's get to this. Ed, I know you're a
All
busy
right.
guy. You're out at the lake with your family, so I don't want to take up too much of your time today.
Yeah, that's all I have time for, Jamie. It was nice to see you.
Okay, yeah. Have a great rest of your summer.
No, fire away.
Okay, so Ed, I've been doing these shows on transformation. We're going through a transformational time right now. We always are, but obviously with COVID, there's a lot of challenges that people are dealing with. So I decided to do this show on transformation. And of course, one of the first questions I ask all my guests is, I want you to describe the concept of transformation for you and what it means to you.
Well, I've had several transformations throughout my career, I think. Transformation for me has always been about setting a goal and trying to figure out the necessary steps to achieve that goal. I think my biggest transformation in my career has been as a writer. I think I've always seen myself as a performer first. And I don't know if it's been about being nervous about the writing or being insecure about the writing, but I've really put a focus of being really demanding for myself about how I write songs and kind of the bar that's acceptable for me. So I think, I think I've had many transformations. I became a father, a family man. I became an international performer. But I think the thing I'm most proud of is a transformation into a writer that I'm very proud of.
Mm-hmm. So I heard a really great thing. I hear a little bit of perfectionism in there, right? You're a performer. The other thing that we always think about when we're creating content is that how am I going to make it better? Like, I know that was with skating for me. It's like we did a great program one year on Stars and Ice, and everyone's like, how are you going to top that? So I know that feeling for you, Ed, and what you must be going through when you're writing music. But I heard a great quote that fear is, or perfectionism is fear wearing a fancy dress. Like, I thought that was really funny because really, there is no such thing as perfection. And it's like you're doing the best you can, right? With what you've got, with where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really like that.
It's interesting, though, because as a writer, I've talked to other athletes about this before. I've never had to be the best at anything at any given time. In fact, some of my greatest shows, I've made multiple mistakes. I would have got terrible marks from the French judge. But, as a performer, what is really important, and I'm sure it's the same in your sport, if you bobble, if you make some error, you've got to get that out of your mind immediately and get back onto your performance. And that's one thing I really focus on with younger performers is, in fact, it's a little charming if you screw up, and in some ways it's different in sport, right? It's different, particularly the higher, faster, stronger. If you trip when you're running, people aren't going to like be pulling for you and give you the medal. But it's different when you're a musical performer. If you screw up the words or you play the wrong chord, if you can find a way to not let that throw your show, you actually kind of endear yourself to the audience. I mean, the last time I made a mistake was decades ago.
Good for you.
No, every show, honestly, every show, I either screw up the words or screw up the chords or screw up which song we're playing at what time. But I feel that's kind of our superpower as musicians is we don't care if we screw up. And in fact, it makes us all look around at each other on stage and go like, you just screwed up. So it's important to recover from, it's a common statement, but it's not how you fall down. It's how you get back up. And when you're playing a song, it really doesn't matter. The audience doesn't care if you screwed up. So why get excited, like upset about it and let it ruin the next 3 songs? Just keep rocking.
I don't know how you guys remember all your songs. Like we only had 2 numbers and some group numbers to remember every year for Stars on Ice. And then the odd, like other TV show numbers that we would do. But I maybe had 6 programs a year. I mean, how many songs are you doing a night? 20?
Yeah, usually about 20 a night.
Yeah.
And we rotate 4 to 6 of them, change them every night because we've got hundreds of songs over the course of a 32-year career. So we'd like to not just keep it fresh for the audience, but also for ourselves. We want to be on our toes. We want to be challenging ourselves. And we don't, I would say with you guys are probably trying to get to the point where the program is so internalized that you can really focus on the minutia and execute the program with precision. We actually kind of want a bit of the opposite. We want to have a skeletal set where we understand the energy of the whole show, but we want some moments in that show where we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Where we're playing a song we haven't played in 7 or 8 years, and it leaves some room for a bit of kind of improvisational magic. A little bit of the unexpected adds a nice energy to a show.
I love that. Ed, are you 50 this year?
That is none of your business, Jamie. How dare you?
Well, it's not even just mine.
Yes, I will be celebrating a milestone birthday during COVID lockdown. I'm actually fine with it because I was starting to worry about like, oh, it's my 50th. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to do nothing, and it's going to be great.
There you go. Well, hey, listen, you woke up today. Some people didn't, right? And
exactly.
This is the thing. Like,
I'm just happy to be here. I'm still doing what I love to do. I'm 50. I'm grayer than when I started, but I think I'm better at everything I do than I was when I was 20. Yeah. I'm a better performer. I'm a better writer. I'm not a better singer. I used to be a better singer.
Better looking.
It's oh, Jamie, stop it. I know you're just kidding.
Okay, well,
but yeah, I'm good with 50.
Good, because like most people at 50 can look back at their life and pinpoint 1 or 2 traumatic shifting events. But Ed, you've actually had several that would test anybody. Sadly, you've experienced a lot of loss over the years. Your mom passed away, your dad passed away, and even you've lost a brother. You've also experienced a dramatic change within your other family, the Bare Naked Ladies, when Stephen Page was no longer part of the band. All of these events are difficult and challenging in their own way. So can you talk to us about how you personally deal with loss and traumatic events that really force you to change or transform? Like, what do you do to cope with these life-changing events?
Well, for me, perspective has helped a lot. I recognize that I have gone through some hardship, some emotional difficulty, lots of loss, as you say. But I think it's really important in those moments to realize that you've lost someone you love, but you still have lots of people you love around you, and lots of people love you, and lots of people are counting on you. I think it's super important to grieve those losses and let them hit you. I really don't believe in being strong when you're grieving or when you've been damaged in some way. I think it's important to feel those losses and allow that grief to derail you for a little while. But I think the perspective on your own growth and your own life and finding those things to be grateful for, even when you're sad, I think that's an important way to recover. I think I really don't buy the soldier on mentality. I think it's important to fall apart a little bit and then put your pieces back together in the right order.
Absolutely. In my coaching business, this is what I do with my clients. It's really important you allow yourself to feel the pain or the discomfort or the sadness. But the most important thing, and what successful people do, is they don't pitch a tent there, right? And so you were very good at that. And that's not easy.
Well, and it's never done alone either, right? Exactly. Like it's really important to have support around you. I have a fantastic wife and 3 amazing kids who aren't kids anymore. They're adults. Nat's affirming how great he is in the background over there.
You're going to have to come say hi here.
Yeah. No, she's saying no. She's in a bathing suit and cover up and not ready to say hi.
Okay, after. Sounds good. Ed, you and your bandmates are such amazing supporters and ambassadors for a number of incredibly different causes and charities. Like it's really, really amazing. Even during the pandemic, while each of you were actually quarantined, you guys have been recording what you call selfie cam jams to help support charities during this challenging time. Like, honestly, in doing this, you and the band are really making an incredible difference in so many people's lives. I don't know if you even realize that, but I want you to tell the listeners why giving back is so important to you and the band, and why you guys make it a priority to put a spotlight on those particular charities that you've chosen.
Well, we have been incredibly fortunate. We're over 3 decades into being supported doing what we love to do. It's an incredible thing, to have a career that is literally your dream come true, and to be supported in that by fans all these years. It's always been important for us to give back wherever and whenever we can. The selfie cam jams were just an idea to keep us entertained and keep our fans entertained. And we thought, well, maybe we can point people to a charity each time and say, okay, here's this entertaining thing we just did for you. Maybe you can take a minute and go donate to Big Brothers and Big Sisters, or maybe you can help out your local food bank, or maybe you can help out a mental health initiative. It's just trying to release them often and say, hey, we know everybody's struggling right now, but there are people struggling more than you, and if you can help them, please do. For us, it was just a fun thing to do, something to keep us busy, and an easy way to help out.
Oh, I love that. Giving back, and I love you guys are incredibly generous. I've been following what you guys are doing for a long time, and it's really important in a time where everybody is struggling to reach out a little bit more.
Yeah.
It really is. So, okay, so I want to talk about where you're at today. It's we know it's 2020, and the band is you're finishing your touches on a new album, right?
Yeah, we actually recorded a bunch of the record here at my cottage about 3 hours northeast of Toronto. We did it in the wintertime just before everything locked down.
Oh, wow.
And so then all the studios closed. We were supposed to go back in and finish the record in late March, but we didn't get back to it until just a few weeks ago. I actually just got the email from the mixer today. He's mixing the first track. So I will hear new Bare Naked Ladies music probably in the next 5 hours. I'm kind of excited.
Very exciting. Oh, wow. Well, you have to keep me in the loop here. Secretly, you can email
Yeah,
me.
I don't know when it's coming out. We had to, yeah, I can share it with you.
That's so
but,
fun. I can't wait.
We were trying to have it out before the tour this summer. But then the tour this summer got pushed to next summer. So we thought maybe the UK tour in the fall, but now the UK tour in the fall is next fall. Yeah. So I'm not sure when we'll put it out. We'll probably finish it within the next couple of weeks. Okay. And then we'll figure out when it makes sense to put it out there.
Right on. Well, I just want to brag a little bit because you do talk about your tour that you're going to be doing next fall. I believe that you have multiple dates that are sold out already too, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty remarkable.
That's amazing.
We gave people the option. We moved the tour to next summer. We said, hey, if you want to get a refund on your tickets, you can do that, or just hold on to your ticket and you can come see us next summer. A lot of people like the tickets they had. So
they do, yes.
Our tour that's a year away has a lot of sold out dates already. That's exciting.
Well, okay, and then you just mentioned that your children are all grown up. Oh my gosh, this is so funny because I know when you started you were just having babies, so this has gone way too fast. And Ed, you really do seem very happy. So can you share with the listeners how you would like to see the rest of this year unfold for you, and maybe even perhaps share some insights on how people can right now start their own journey of positive change and transformation for themselves?
Well, again, I have to reinforce that I'm saying this from an incredibly lucky position, but I recognize that. But for me, it was incredible to get all of this time with my kids. We all came up to our lake spot. My youngest guy's about to turn 18, and then my middle guy's about to turn 21, and my daughter's going to turn 25 this fall.
Wow.
I never would have had this concentrated time with all three kids. My daughter's been working full time from up here. My middle guy just finished a songwriting and production program at Seneca, and my young guy's planning to go to Dalhousie next year. So having this 4 months with the kids, that has been not just the silver lining to this cloud, it's been like the silver cloud, The cloud is certainly the pandemic and I know lots of people are suffering and lots of people have been very stressed out by it. We're super lucky. We've been able to come to this beautiful place and just spend time together. And that wouldn't have happened in any other situation. So I'm super grateful for that. Lots of people have chosen this time to learn a hobby, get healthy, learn to cook, learn to play an instrument.
Yes.
I think that this time has allowed people to take on some challenges that they've been putting off because they haven't had the time.
Yeah.
I know for a lot of people it's been a difficult mental health challenge, the isolation and the stress of employment that's come along with it. And so I really feel for those people and have been trying to do what I can to help those people. But I have to say, for me, I'm really grateful for the time with the kids.
So are we. We feel the same way as you. It's slowed us right down and really you talk about perspective. But Ed, you say lucky often. I've heard it. You say it a few more times in other interviews. Do you believe in luck?
Well, I believe you get luckier the harder you work, for
There
sure.
you go.
But I say lucky because I know a lot of musicians that have worked as hard or harder than me and are way better than me that didn't have the luck that I had. And it takes talent, and it takes perseverance, and it takes hard work, but it takes an enormous amount of luck to make it in my business. Having the right person notice you at the right time. And certainly you got to put yourself out there, and you got to do the work, and you got to do the touring, and you got to write the songs. But without the luck component, it doesn't happen.
That's interesting. It's very interesting because I always say to people, I wasn't the best figure skater out there. I was just the one that didn't quit. And there were more talented figure skaters, female pair figure skaters than me, but I was the one that didn't quit. I just, the word luck to me, we talk about lucky stars and everything, but I feel like I worked, like you say, I got luckier the harder I worked, but
for sure,
it's about not quitting. So, and
for sure, but you can also look at those moments in your career and in your life as an athlete. Like it was lucky you were paired up with David Peltier, right? Like there's some luck in that. You guys worked your asses off together. There's luck. There's luck in the timing. There's luck in, that you were noticed in the right place at the right time to be surrounded by the right coaches, the right mentors. Like you said, you had to put in the work, but there's always a little bit of luck. Yeah,
it's like the manifesting, right? So
also, let's talk about the first bit of luck, that we were both born in Canada. We had nothing to do with that.
Right.
And that's an enormous help.
It's enormous, especially today. Wow. We're very, very fortunate. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Ed, I just want to make sure to tell the listeners that, guys, if you aren't already, you can follow, of course, the Bare Naked Ladies on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and their website, barenakedladies.com, to see where they're touring and what's next for them. Ed, this was such an honor and so much fun to see you and have this incredible conversation with you. I am beyond grateful.
No, you're the best, Jamie. It's always good to see you.
Well,
anything, anytime.
Wow. Really? I will hold you to that.
Yeah, of course. You know that's true.
Well, I wish you and your beautiful family a healthy, happy rest of your summer. And of course, to the Bare Naked Ladies, say hi to everybody for me as well. And I wish you guys great health and an awesome tour next year. I'll be following you guys.
All right. All the best.
Okay, take care, Ed. Thanks so much.
Oh, how cool was that? Wow. That was cool. I hope Ed, if you stick around the green room, Ed, I hope you stick around for just for a couple of seconds. We're going to tie up the show here right now. But yeah, Jamie, that was a great interview. And what I loved about one thing he said that jumped out for me, I know there's probably a ton for you as well, but perspective, man, I love that. I mean, perspective.
Yeah.
Just this life in general, right? That's just a beautiful way to kind of, gratitude, empathy for others, and have a perspective of your own gains and losses, and making sure you stay humble. I love that, and I hear that in his voice, because I'm telling you, as a musician, I so resonate with what he just said. I don't want to say luck either, but he said it best. He said, man, you put in the work, but there is this element of the dice coming together at the right time. Yeah. And he was there to grab it. So I'm so happy for them and the band. So tell us a couple of aha moments, and tell us what you got out of that, and take us home.
Okay, well, you pretty much nailed it there. So for me, this was really about the first big point that I had was in setting goals and talking about those action steps. That was the first thing that he had mentioned that was really important in transformation for him and the things that he's gone through in his life. We often forget to write our goals down, and so they become when they're just in our head, they're a wish. And so when we get them on paper, they become a plan. So I completely resonated with that. I've been doing goal setting my whole entire life. I still do. And then, of course, the perspective part of it, and how that even through loss or change or sadness or challenges, that you got to remember that there's a lot of people around you who love you and support you and believe in you when you're not believing in yourself. So tap into that, and also start your day with gratitude. I mean, it never ends. We need to be grateful that we woke up today, because some people didn't. And then, of course, in these difficult times or in other difficult times in our lives, the importance of giving back. Ed and his band and many other people that I know are finding ways to give back right now to people in need. And that is really important. We come together and there's a lot of unity there and love and support. And I think that's really, really important part of humanity. So another amazing conversation. I just feel so incredibly grateful that I can bring these stories about transformation to all of you, and that maybe you even feel inspired and empowered and courageous to move through your challenges now, knowing that they're all truly gifts, that they show up for us to learn lessons. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching again. I'm looking so very forward to what's next. Have an amazing rest of your day and dream big.